Hello. So again, we're back with another video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a leader stat script with DataStore. This video is gonna be way easier to understand for beginners than my previous video because this one's gonna be something that you're likely gonna be more familiar with. To start off, just add a service script in SetAsync and just name it whatever you want. Just name it leader stats or something. It should make sense though, obviously. And firstly, you gotta get the services. So these are gonna be our services for this video. Firstly, players, so you can actually access the players, I guess, like all the players in the game. Yeah. And then we're also gonna get the DataStoreService, which we're obviously gonna use to be able to save the progress of a player. And before we actually dive deeper into this video or a script, please make sure that you actually have, where is it, experience settings, security. Make sure that the studio access to API servers is enabled. If not, firstly you have to upload your game, and then just go to security and then enable studio access to API servers. This is going to be like very necessary to be able to make to be even able to save the player's progress to data stores, because this entire thing enables you to do that. Without it, you can't. So make sure you do that. Anyways, let's continue. So here we're getting the data store called player data, and then sending it to this variable. And you can just name it whatever you want, but make sure it kind of makes sense. It should not be a stupid thing or something, I guess. What can I say? I mean, we're just using the DataStoreService to get the data store called player data, and then we're just sending it to the variable. That's pretty much it for the variables. And now we're going to be moving over to the main function. So let's get started. So in the first part here, actually I forgot to do main. There we go. So we are creating or connecting a function whenever a new player joins the game, and then calling it PLR as a shortcut for player. And we're immediately just creating a folder under the player called leader stats. It is very, very, very important that you actually call it leader stats the exact way I did. If you don't do it that way, then it's not gonna show in leader stats. It's gonna be saved, but it's not gonna show. So if you want it to show, then call it leader stats. If not, then I guess don't call it leader stats. Just call it something else that you can easily remember and just not forget. And now let's get to the stats part. So here we're creating a new instance called number value and assigning it under leader stats, making leader stats its parent. We are also calling money, the exact way the variable is written, obviously. And we are giving it the value 0. I call it money because I wanted to call it money. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. And next up, we're going to be doing local success, comma data equals pcall function. Return player data get async plr dot user id. Actually, I have to stop saying plr because it's literally player. It kind of sounds weird. Anyways, what this does is we create a pcall function, and in the pcall function we return the data of the player who just joined. Return player data get async player.user id. That's what it does. And what's a pcall function, you might ask, if you're a beginner, of course. Well, a pcall function basically is like a normal function, except when errors or you get warnings, you actually don't get the error, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't break your game. For example, if you're gonna do something that's very stupid, then use pcall function, because that won't break your entire script. So if there's an error, it keeps on going, but it saves the error. So in case you want to know what the error is, you can kind of see what it is. It's a pretty good practice to do, so your game doesn't crash or like your script doesn't break. So that's kind of where you need it. So please don't forget to do that. Well, next up is if success and data, then we are gonna create a new function. But what this does is basically it checks if it was a success and you actually got the data, and it's real data, not fake data. Kind of. Anyways, so we're gonna create a function called local function apply stats, and then just leader stats, comma data. So let's just apply stats, leader stats, and data down here. So in this function, we're gonna be writing for underscore comma stat in folder get children do if stat is a value base, then stat dot value equals data, like square brackets thingy. Oh, it is not supposed to be folder. What the hell did I? Oh, this parameter should be called folder, by the way. Not just that. That's kind of weird. Anyway, data stat dot name or stat dot value. So basically, what we are doing here is we're looping through, well, the stats in leader stats, and then checking if it's a value object, and then changing the stat dot value to the one that's in the data store. That's the one that's saved. But if that one does not work, like it doesn't exist for whatever reason, or just does not work, then we are defaulting back to the one that was saved before that, or 0, kind of, if you never played the game before. And the reason why I'm actually not using pairs here is because the order does not matter here, okay? And this one is provenly actually way faster than pairs or pairs. And also value base, I'm using this to check if it's a value object because this is the most efficient one that I know of. Lookup isn't as well good. Substring is also definitely not good. Patterns is not good. Any other way is not good. Value base is by far the fastest. I don't know if I have the graph for it, but if there's a graph, I'll just pop it on the screen, like when I'm editing. And in the graph, you should be able to see that value base is like the fastest way to find out if an object, like if an instance is a value object. But if I'm wrong for whatever reason that you think or can come up with, tell me, because I want to know if I'm wrong, because I did my research, okay? And I even tested myself. The graph is by me, okay? I met the graph. Value base is the fastest way. Pretty much. I'm not wrong though. So, anyways. What am I even yapping at this point? Holy shit. Anyways. Now, when a player leaves, we want to save its, or their, stats. So, player stopped, player removing, connect. And now we're going to do it. Actually, we're actually going to make a new function here. Local function, save player. So, now we're going to do local leader stats equals player find first child. If not leader stats, then return end. I mean, you actually don't really need to do all this because there's like always gonna be a leader sets folder, so you can kind of just shorten it down, I guess. I mean, this works as well, pretty much. Anyways, I forgot what I was gonna make it, or save player. I forgot. So we're actually gonna make a for loop here. For attempt equals 1, 5. Do local success, result equals pcall function. Then return player data. Set async player user ID get stats. Oh, actually, I didn't make get stats function yet. Well, that's weird. Anyways, we're gonna create a new function, of course, called get stats, and then have a parameter folder, so we can actually put get stats in here. Well, get stats, leader stats, basically. So, what are we gonna write in this function? It's gonna be pretty simple. Local data equals table for underscore comma stat in folder get children. Do if stat is a value base, then data square brackets thingy stat dot name equals stat dot value, and then at the end of the loop we're gonna do return data. Basically, we're creating a data table. Like we're just creating a normal table called data, and then we're looping through the leader stats folder again. Yeah, then we're checking if they're like a value object, and then if they are a value object, we are putting in the data. We're putting them in the data table with their name equals their stat value, and then we're returning the data table so we can use it. Also, this is supposed to be player, not PLR. So what am I doing here? Okay, we did get stats, save player element. So that means we can actually put save player in here, and also make sure you don't have the brackets here. That's important. Don't put the brackets in there. Just don't put it in there. Anyways, when you shut down the server for whatever reason that's unknown to me, you obviously want to save the player's, stats, and this one's gonna be like pretty easy to make. It's like I don't know, like maybe 5 lines of code, easy. So what we're gonna do is game bind to close function for underscore comma player. Let's call it player. It doesn't matter. In players get players do save player, and then 6, 7. That's basically it. There's nothing else to this, I think. Actually, wait, there is. I kind of forgot to. I kind of forgot to finish save player. What am I even doing at this point? Holy shit, bro! What the hell? Anyways, we're gonna do if success, then we'll return. Right, yeah, because we only want to repeat the save attempt. If it does not save, if it does save, then we kind of want to quit. We don't want to save multiple times. That's kind of weird. Anyways, what we're gonna do is warn. Okay, fail to save. Actually, this is not even that important. You can just remove the warrant. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Just do test await attempt. Honestly, and then yeah, we're kind of done. That's about it. So when I hop in the game, money 0, no errors. Oh no, I'm fucking broke. Holy shit, my game is lagging. Oh yeah, I have two RDPs in the background, by the way. So, well, I guess that's about it for this video. Oh, this video is only 18 minutes. Holy shit. Anyways, thanks a lot for the subs and views and likes and whatever, guys. I hope you liked this video. And also, pretty important, this version is for smaller games. That's important. This is for smaller games. If you want to make a big game, like a big game, you want to use profile service, not data store, like the way I made here, because that's kind of inefficient and it is not going to be as useful as profile service. So if you are making a big game, use profile servers. Okay, maybe in the future I'll make a video about that, but not now. Not now. Yeah, pretty much. Now I'm doing this video. Yeah, not profile servers. And also, I am aware that you should very likely use UpdateAsync. Okay, guys. You can also use UpdateAsync, but like this part needs to be a function then that returns something. But in this example, I'm not going to be using UpdateAsync because if I did, I would literally just be doing the exact same thing as SetAsync, and that's kind of pointless if you ask me. I mean, this is just an example, bro. If you want to make your game like actually bigger and grow it out, then I would use UpdateAsync. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Holy yap. Goodbye. So this is like the version of me after I just finished the video, but I forgot to actually show that it works when you leave the game. So as you can see here, leader stats, money. Let's just do. I think it's a valid amount of number. The money 167. And if you go back here, it says 97.8 million and stuff. And if I just go back in after like I'm done loading back, there we go. I just go back in and then boom, it's 97.8 million and still no errors because I'm so good at scripting. Anyways, actually, goodbye this time.